and welcome to Ghost Club. Alright, okay, first off, I just want to welcome you to my channel, Ghost Club. It's official. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for joining me on my journey. My name is Jade. This is where I'm going to be uploading all my paranormal investigations, little videos like this one just here. I have Q&As, little stories, things like that. So tonight I'm going to be telling you a story. Although it's more of a sequence of events, I guess you could say. You guys can decide what the hell was going on. But the story is basically the 2 months last year leading up to Halloween. A lot of weird stuff happened. What happened last year was so strange. But at least now I have the technology to, like, if I need to take a picture, I can just take a picture. If I want to take a video, I can take a video. So I do have those. I'm going to be inserting the pictures and videos into this video here, so you guys can let me know what you think about those. Let's begin. So, let's see, it was a couple of months leading up to Halloween and I was in the house by myself, and it makes me really nervous even talking about this because I'm in the house by myself and it's dark, and I just feel like every single time I bring this kind of stuff up, things start happening. So I was in the house by myself, but all of a sudden I started to feel really sick. And I started getting a headache, and I decided I was going to go upstairs and lay down for a little bit. So I go upstairs to my bedroom and I shut the curtains and I'm laying in bed, and about 5 minutes later I hear, that was the door, by the way. So anyway, so I hear this really loud obnoxious knock on the front door, and I'm like, is that somebody at my door? So I go downstairs and I'm halfway downstairs and I'm looking at my front door, then all of a sudden, and I could see my front door, and the door, it literally looked like somebody was trying to break that thing in. So I'm like, I automatically go into like, who the heck is at my door and why are they trying to kick it in? So anyway, so I go up, I'm walking up to the front door and I start to get this kind of weird vibe. I'm looking at the door and I was about to open it and I stop, and then all of a sudden, I look through the little peephole and there was nobody there. So I'm looking through the peephole and I'm confused. I was just about to open the door, then all of a sudden I see a finger literally go over the peephole like this. So I take a few steps back and I'm looking at the door and I'm like, okay, whoever's outside my door wants to see me, but they don't want me to see them. And then all of a sudden, and I just freak out. So anyway, so I run upstairs and I lock myself in my bedroom and I call 911. I'm talking to the police and I'm like, somebody's at my door, they're trying to knock the door down, like I'm freaking out, and I have a flashlight, and I don't have it on me, but I have a flashlight. It's kind of like this, it's like this big, and I'm all freaked out. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the police come, right? And they're like, well, we're just gonna kind of like hang around and stuff like that, make sure this guy doesn't come back. I'm like, right, thank you. You know what? I was like, somebody thinks that they can come to my door? My door? I mean, I guess it's public property. I live in an apartment, but anyway. So I'm like, yeah, they think that they can come to my door. Well, I'm gonna get a ring doorbell, and I'm also gonna go to Home Depot. I got these big pieces of wood and I got them cut to size. I measured my patio doors, my windows and things like that. I put them up. I also had a camera, which is actually kind of silly. It's a cat treat box, and you can pop treats out. Your cats come run it. It's super cute. It's so cute. That camera will then pick up all the movement in the house, and I'm super ready for anybody who's trying to mess with my house again, you know. But that night, it was about midnight, right? And I went to bed at like 10 o'clock that night, and I woke up at midnight to what sounded like a knock. I look at the pet cam, and honestly, what I find is my downstairs lamp, which is a vintage second-hand lamp, if that has anything to do with it. you know? It might not have anything to do with it. That's totally fine. But very, very creepy. The lamp was off. The camera went on. The lamp turned on by itself, and then it stayed on for about 3 seconds, turned itself back off. And that happened literally just as I woke up. You can only imagine what's going through my head. So I'm thinking, not only do I have a crazy murderer trying to get into my house, I now have a ghost. So now I have a ghost. I just have to live with that. So I go to the coffee shop after work. I go in there, and there's the 2 baristas, and there's like a couple of people sitting over at a table, just having a casual chat. And then so I'm standing there, and all of a sudden I just look over, and there's a girl all in black. Like, okay, so it doesn't sound scary because I wear black all the time and I'm a girl. She's super, super skinny. She's all in black. She's got black webbed hair across her face, and she's in this kind of weird, like this, her hands are like this, and she's in this weird kind of hunched over position, and she's just like staring at me. Didn't break eye contact once. Okay, a weird girl staring at me, I can handle that. But it was about 5 minutes had passed, and she just literally, she didn't break that stance, you know? I'm gonna insert a photo here of, I did take a video because I got that freaked out about it because nobody seemed to have even acknowledged her at all. I had to get my camera out and I start filming her. So this is a screenshot from the video. Okay, creepy, right? Now I'm gonna zoom in so you can actually see just how creepy this is. Did you get that? Great. So anyway, it gave me weird vibes. It gave me really, really creepy vibes. So I go back to the coffee shop the next day, same time, same people are working. I go order a coffee. I'm just pretending like I'm gonna go get a coffee, but I really wanted to know if they actually saw that girl come in, if they saw her when I was there. And I asked them, and they had no idea what I was talking about. So, was it a ghost? I don't know. But it was just kind of strange that it was literally the next day after the knock-in and after the lamp went on. So I'm just gonna leave that out there. God, I really hope it wasn't a ghost, but it was very, very strange. Next part of this event. The series of events. A little bit of a backtrack here. I was planning this really, really cool Halloween party. Biggest party, like it was like my wedding, you know, it's like biggest party ever. Everybody has to be there. Super cool, super spooky. So I was going to a lot of charity shops, thrift stores, and I was just picking up a bunch of people's old, creepy, secondhand stuff, bringing it back to my home. So I was like making my own props. I was making very, very gory props. You know, it was like serial killer themed. I was listening to a lot of like 60s, like old school music and stuff like that. And I would just spend hours and hours making these props. So I went to a craft store and I picked up these like little glass balls, about this big. I took them home and I had them laid out in front of me, and I was painting the balls, and there was a few that were waiting to be painted. They weren't touching each other or anything like that. My boyfriend has his friend rounds. They're watching a scary movie, and I'm off to the side, and I'm got my headphones in, and I'm painting the balls. And then all of a sudden, we hear this pop. It's really, really, really loud. And I instantly take my headphones out and I look at them and they look at me and I'm like, what was that noise? And they're like, I don't know, it was coming from over by you. So I get up and I start walking around the table. Let's keep in mind, in the space that we heard the pop, we talk to each other, take my headphones out, get up, walk around the table, look at all the props. All the props are fine. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with them. I sit back down and I'm like, that's weird. Yeah, I don't really know what that was. Put my headphones back in. The second I put my headphones in, this bottle that was sitting about this much away from me literally shattered into about 5 different pieces. And when I say shattered, like I'm not just talking about it just kind of, it shot across the table, it shot across the room, it shot in every single direction that you could think of except from directly at me, and it was super, super close to me. If one of those big pieces of glass had actually came at me, it could have easily slit my throat. I don't know, there was a whole weird vibe about that because the bottle shattered from the outside, the inside out. The bottle shattered. The bottle shattered from the inside out. So I'm going to put a picture of the bottle, of it when it just shattered. I'd collected the pieces and stuff like that, but this is what the bottle ended up looking like. So after that bottle shattered, I started to get this feeling that something wants to be noticed. Too many things were happening and it was just too eerie for me. That I don't know what it was that triggered it. I don't know if it was the things that I had brought into my house. I don't know if it was the music that I was listening to, the old creepy music. But basically, right after that moment, that's when just weird things, it all just kind of like, all hell broke loose in my house. In the morning, I would come downstairs, the lamp's on, even though I made sure I turned it off the night before. I would wake up from these really, really messed up nightmares. I would wake up with bruises all over my body. I remember like one night there was all these, it sounded like pots and pans were just crashing in the kitchen and stuff like that, and I get up and I go in there and nothing's been touched. Glitches in the TV that had never happened before and have never actually happened since then. So to say the least, I was like, okay, I have a ghost. This house is haunted. Even though I've been living here for 2 years and nothing has ever happened before. So whilst all that stuff was going on, there was another night when I went out onto my patio just to like chill out. It was nighttime. I was in the house by myself again. All of a sudden, of course, it always starts with all of a sudden. You know something bad's about to happen. I was chilling out on my back patio. Again, I had my headphones in my ears and I was out there for like 2 minutes and I kept on hearing this noise. I take my headphones out. On the other side of the patio fence was this very strange, weird clawing noise. It could be a possum, but I've never seen a possum in the 3 years that I've lived here. I'm laughing now. I look back at this stuff and I can't help it. It's just my personality. Like I have to kind of laugh at this stuff. But at the time, it was really, really intense. In the videos that I post, you're going to hear very heavy breathing. It was scary, okay? So don't judge. So here is the video of the scratching coming from the patio. And also, disclaimer, in the background, you will see a very suggestive mannequin on her knees in the background with blood all over her face, but that was just a prop to that super sick Halloween party I was throwing. So once I was done filming that, I shut the door, I came inside. Honestly, my first thought wasn't even like ghost, it wasn't animal, it was like, there is a person on the other side of that fence, just... So I sit down for a second, and then I kick into that mode where I'm like, no, not my fence, not my house, not my property. So I get up and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go outside my house, I'm gonna walk around the back and I'm gonna call this person out. I'm gonna call this Freddy Krueger person out. Literally nobody there. I go out on the street and I'm looking for an animal, I'm looking for a person, and nobody. I couldn't find anything. So all that happens. Still going to thrift stores, I'm still looking for props. And this day, I hit the jackpot. Ended up not really being the jackpot at all. I walk into Goodwill. I take a nice long walk down those dusty aisles. There I see before me a Ouija board. And I'm like, I have hit the jackpot. This is it. This is gonna be my perfect prop for this kick-ass Halloween party I'm having. So I buy the Ouija board, I pick it up, I grab it, and everyone's looking at me. I feel like everyone was looking at me. I don't know if everyone was looking at me, but anyway, so I kind of rushed to the front. And I remember when I checked out, the guy that worked there was like, whoa, Ouija board. I didn't even know we sold those here. I hope you don't get possessed. I'm like, yeah, I hope I don't get possessed too. Like, then I felt like I had to be like, no, it's for a Halloween party. Like, I'm not weird, honestly, I'm not weird. It's for my Halloween party, my super sick Halloween party. So I thought my house was haunted before. You're probably asking, why the hell did I just bring home a Ouija board? A secondhand Ouija board. It was taped up and everything. I add the Ouija board to the collection of junk I have for the Halloween party. It sits there for a couple of weeks, right? Still strange things are happening in the house and I'm having these nightmares and stuff like that, but at this point it's almost normal, which is actually really sad. So my friend comes round one night. Let's call her Nicole, because her name is Nicole. I don't even know how we even got on the subject. I showed her the Ouija board. I know I was showing her all the different things for the Halloween party. It sounds so cheesy. I almost want to say like we were just, cause I can't remember the conversation, like we were just drawn to this thing. I had absolutely no plans on using this Ouija board when I bought it, but something changed and we decided, hey, let's play with the Ouija board. Why not? Now let me just tell you right now, nothing good comes out of a Ouija board. Really, nothing good comes out of a Ouija board. Now I'm so nervous to tell this story because this really is like this is the creepy part. If you didn't think that it was creepy before, it's creepy now, okay? We go to do the Ouija board in like this dark hiking trail. We get there and it was too dark, it was too creepy. There was a weird black van there and the lights were out and the people were like, I don't know, it was just weird. We were like, no, let's not do it here. Like, let's go here. And we go to another place and, you know, it was all like barricaded off in the parking lot that we were going to do it in. Like, it wasn't open. So I was like, you know what, I'm sick of driving about. Like, we'll just do it back at mine. Such a wrong move on my behalf. Right off the bat, I said, if we're going to do the Ouija board, we're not going to do it at my house. And then I got so bored of driving about, I was like, whatever, let's just do it at my house. We go out on the patio, the one with the Freddy Krueger on the other side. We get the Ouija board out and stuff like that and we set it up. We're just like, oh yeah, we're just a couple of girls playing a Ouija board, like nothing crazy is gonna happen in this haunted house. So we look up WikiHow, of course. That's the first thing that you do before you do a Ouija board. Look up WikiHow. It'll tell you everything that you need to know about summoning a demon. And there's a couple things on WikiHow. The number one rule, apparently, on Wiki is one person has to lead. So one person asks the question, like both have your fingers on it and things like that, but one person asks the question and kind of leads the session. And then another rule was if the pamphlet, if it goes in a figure 8, then that means that it's no good. That means you are talking to an evil spirit. So just say goodbye and leave it at that. So we're sitting there, we've got our hands on the Ouija board I'm like, is there anybody here? Nothing's happening. Is anybody here with us? Nothing's happening. And then she goes, I'll ask it. So we already broke rule number 1, okay? So she goes, I'll ask it. Is there anybody here with us? That's my impression of Nicole. And then it starts slowly moving. And then it goes straight to no. Well, we're like, well, there is somebody here with us, clearly, because I went to no. So then Nicole asks a really random question. I don't know where it came from. Are you a little girl? And it goes, no. And then I ask, is this the reason why you don't want us to talk to you? Is because we're going to ask you stupid questions like this? And it says, yes. So at this point, we're like, okay, the Ouija board is working. There is a spirit here, but I am more curious to, is this the same spirit that's been messing with my house the past couple of months? Of course. So I ask it, are you the same spirit that's been messing with my house? It says, yes. So at this point, I'm like, all right, now I do kind of feel like I need to get to the bottom of it. I ask, what's your name? And it goes to 8. And I go, 8? That's weird. I was like, okay, so I'll ask it another question. Now, I didn't want to use the word evil because, I don't know, when you're doing a Ouija board, you don't want to use that kind of language, I guess. I say, are you a bad spirit? And it says yes. I'm like, okay, so it's the spirit that's living in my house and it's a bad spirit. So that's not good. Nicole asks again, what is your name? It goes to 8. Then it goes back to the center. 8. And I'm going, 8. And I'm looking at Nicole and I'm like, what's 8? And then all of a sudden, that's when it hit me. Wiki told me that if it goes in a figure 8, that means it's an evil spirit. And even though it wasn't going in a figure 8, it kept on going to 8. And I just looked at her and I was like, Nicole, stop, let's stop. She was like, what's going on? I was like, 8, let's stop. So so she like just takes her hands off, and I'm like, okay, goodbye, goodbye, bye bye, goodbye, goodbye, and like move it to goodbye. Oh my god. We were so freaked out after that, right? So obviously it works. We just summoned a spirit, and a bad one at that. So anyway, we take a little bit of a breather, and I'm like, let's just go inside. Let's just watch some House Hunters or something like that. So we go inside, we watch some House Hunters. We don't talk about it, nothing like that. She stays there for a couple of hours, and then she's like, all right, I'm gonna go home, but can you walk me to my car? So we're walking to our car. Now, a little bit of a side story is before we done the Ouija board, I made a really, really stupid joke. I wear these two necklaces every single day. This one here, the Virgin Mary, and this one here, I don't know. I just got it from this really cool secondhand shop that was selling really cool jewelry. And I did make a joke. I was like, oh, do you know CPR? Just in case when we're doing the Ouija board, like my necklace starts like twisting and like starts choking me or something like that. Oh, a good Ouija board joke. Who doesn't love it? So I'm walking her to her car, and then all of a sudden I feel this little trickle down my top, and I just freak out. And she's like, what is it? What is it? And I was like, what the hell? And I get out of my shirt, and it was my necklace. It had literally fallen off of my neck. It unclipped itself. God knows how it unclipped itself. That was really weird to me because we didn't say goodbye. That was when I realized it was still here. I come back home. I decided to go back out to the patio just to kind of take a breather. So I'm standing out there, and I pack up the Ouija board and stuff like that, and I'm standing outside, and it's nighttime, and I'm taking a few deep breaths, and I'm just looking out onto the street. All of a sudden, I look up, and there's a funeral home right across the street from me. You literally cannot make this shit up. So I'm looking at the funeral home because I see a dark shadow, and it's walking down the alleyway beside the funeral home, and there's two street lamps, and this dark shadow starts walking under one of the street lamps, and all of a sudden the street lamp goes off. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. Okay, I just need to go to bed. I need to go to bed. And I'm laying in bed, right? And I just tuck myself in, I get all cozy and all that. I just close my eyes, and I don't have Siri on my phone or anything like that. My phone says, show me the bad. It literally says, show me the bad. And it spoke, it was loud, and I freak out. I wasn't saying anything. There was no way that my phone could have picked up anything. So I look at my phone, and I'm like, oh my gosh, because as I said earlier, oh my God, I'm like freaking myself out here. As I said earlier, I don't use the word evil. It's so, I don't know, it just felt unnatural. It was just scary to me, so I would use the word bad. Are you bad? I keep on saying bad. So it was very coincidental that my phone just randomly says, show me the bad. I look at it, and it's just like a screen with it's got showing results for the bad. Anyway, the next morning was probably the worst for me. I woke up to knocking behind my headboard. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was pitch dark. I have the blackout curtains and stuff like that. So I hear this knocking. I'm kind of wake up a little bit, and I'm trying to get back to sleep, and I hear the knocking again. It was the knocking was coming up from behind me, and then I noticed that it started making its way onto the roof, the knocking sound. It was more just and then it would stop, and then when I noticed that the knocking was now on the roof, that's when I decided I'm gonna get my camera out. I get up, and I open the curtains because I feel letting light into the room was gonna stop the knocking, or kind of suppress the activity that was going on in that room. It didn't. So the knocking is on the ceiling, and then in the video, which I will input in just a second, it kind of goes down the other wall, which is my bathroom on the other side. And again, I'm in the house by myself, so I know that there's nobody in the bathroom. I go over to the laundry door in my bedroom, and you'll notice that when I open the laundry door, I hear on my bedroom door 3 really loud knocks that really freaked me out. So I quickly turn the camera around, and then I go and open the door, and there's nothing there, and the knocking completely stopped. So I'm gonna insert that video here. It's about 1 minute and 30 seconds long, but honestly, it is really, really weird, and I definitely 100% believe that it had something to do with the Ouija board that I'd done the night before. So here's a video, and also excuse the wheezing going on. I did have a little bit of a stuffy nose. Anyway, here it is. That actually just, it freaks me out even thinking about it. After the knocking happened, I felt like just suffocated. Like I felt like something like was just heavy. Like I felt like I had an attachment. I felt depressed and I felt just anxious. I was starting to just cry uncontrollably. And then I realized that something had to be done. I do have a paranormal group that I'm a member of here locally. I turned to them for some advice, and everybody had so many different pieces of advice. They would say, do this, and then somebody else would say, no, don't do that, like that's wrong, like do this. I just felt so confused at that point. So I basically just turned to the Catholic Church. I gave them a call to basically tell them, hey, last night I done a Ouija board and now there's a demonic spirit in my house and it's affecting me. Can you please send somebody out to exorcise my house? They actually agreed to it. Which was super, super nice of them. So they sent out a Catholic priest and he comes over to my house. Now, I don't know if you've ever had a Catholic priest around your house, but I don't know why I was expecting them to just show up in like some slacks and like a shirt or something like that. No, he turned up like this.
Hi, Jade? Yes. Father Cipriano.
So he was full-blown robe and he had like his little exorcism package and everything like that. And he comes into the house and he asks me what's going on, and I tell him the whole story, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Do I burn the Ouija board? Do I bury the Ouija board? Do I throw out the Ouija board? Do I sell it on eBay? Basically what the priest told me was, you don't have to bury the Ouija board. You don't have to burn the Ouija board. You are bigger than what that is. And that piece of information that he gave me, it really did make sense. Once he said that, it was almost like something just got lifted off of me. And I was like, you know what? This is my house. Like whatever is here isn't welcome here. He gave me his rosary beads. He said, you know, do your Hail Marys and stuff like that and pray. Now, I don't pray often. I wouldn't really categorize myself as a super religious person or anything like that. Even though I was baptized Catholic, that's the reason why I kind of reached out to them. And I was brought up Catholic, but I don't really practice it anymore or anything like that. Basically just told me, pray, do your Hail Marys, and you don't have to get rid of the board or anything like that. If you want to keep it for your super sick Halloween party, you totally can do that. Just be bigger than what's here and don't let it affect you. He left and he didn't exorcise the house or anything like that. He just gave me a little piece of advice, and I basically just said, you know what, yeah, I'm not going to let it affect me. And I didn't let it affect me after that. And I had the super sick Halloween party, and I had the Ouija board there, and I had all my other props there, and everyone was having an amazing time. And then after the Halloween party, I sold all of it. Like, sorry, I do not want this Ouija board in my house whatsoever. Get it out, good riddance, see you later. So anyway, I thought it would be fun to give Nicole a little call. She isn't expecting the call, and we really honestly haven't even talked about this. Really, we've never really went into detail or anything like that about it, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how she responds in this phone call.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
I am dead inside.
Same, aren't we all? Anyway, I'm filming an episode of Ghost Club.
Am I a guest star?
You are a guest star.
Yay!
Basically, I was just telling them the story of the Ouija board.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And we haven't really talked about it or anything like that, but I just wanted you to just kind of say an experience that you had, because I know that you had some experiences afterwards as well.
Of like with what we did with the Ouija board. Well, the thing is that like I actually normally don't, because I am very spiritual and I do believe in like gateways. So that's actually why I don't watch like Paranormal Activity, Poltergeist, or like any of those scary movies, because I do believe they're gateways. So whenever, but like I trust you and I trust your energy. So whenever you're like, want to do a Ouija board? And I was like, I mean, like if anybody I would want to do it with, I would want to do it with someone that would be respectful of the spirits, respectful of the area, and then like not want to like provoke it or anything. So I was like, why not? So I remember this. We went around to like sketchy lots, and like we're trying to do it in your car and stuff, and we just didn't get like the right vibe, and we just weren't really feeling it. And honestly, people probably thought we were like trying to like fuck. Honestly, for how many places we were driving around, and then you would like shove me in the back of your car. And then we were like laying down blankets and stuff, and I'm like, we're not like trying to hook up, we're literally trying to like contact the spirit world. Thanks. And so we finally like got to your place, and like we did it all, and like we like opened the Ouija board, and like I shit you not, like that, like the toggle thingy moved with such fucking force. I've never in my life have felt that before.
Yeah.
Like, it was so insane.
Yeah.
And I remember you and I deadlocked eyes, and you went, that's not funny, Nicole. And I go, dude, I'm barely touching it. And it was like so crazy, and like it was the most insane thing ever. And then I mean, we were asking it, and then it started making like a figure eight. Remember that? Oh my god. And whenever it's figure, it's like demonic. And then it was
going
so
to the
crazy.
number 8, but yeah, I did explain that we looked up on WikiHow to do a Ouija board.
Yeah, we were, and they were like, yeah, if it starts making figure eights or like doing stuff, like it's a demon. I'm like, oh, cool. So yeah, we summoned a demon, like chill, and it's for all the jokes I make. And finally, what's like so crazy is like, and then we just left, and then I left you at home by yourself. Well, you were with Mike, and then I like went home, and what I did was I saw this somewhere, I don't remember where. I salted like my doorway and like all my windowsills and stuff, and like I cleansed my whole area, so like nobody was getting that. But yeah, no, I just don't. Yeah, that was the last time I messed with the spirit world.
So you would never do one again?
I would do one again if we did it at another location because we already got that juju out of your house.
Yeah, I know, that took a while.
And you told them that like you had a priest come.
Yeah, I already told that story.
Oh my god.
I'll just have you host this next time.
Oh yeah. No, I love, but like, didn't you think that was like so, like, I mean, because like, you had a poltergeist in your house, but like, I've never really had like, stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think the one thing that is really weird is like the house I grew up in Texas actually had like a dead baby in it. Like, did I tell you that?
Did
like,
you remove it?
I won't. No, but like, no, what happened was like our guest room or whatever was like a baby nursery and the baby died.
Ugh.
I know, isn't that kind of creepy?
That's pretty crazy. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna get off the phone, but yeah, so.
Hi, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Club, big fan. Follow her, please. Swipe up, buy her shit.
Thank you, thanks. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Alrighty, bye.
Bye. All right, she can literally talk for days. All right, guys, and that is my ghost story. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if you wanted to, you can go over to my Instagram. It's Ghost Club Paranormal, and I also do some questions over there, so you can ask me whatever you like, and I'll feature that in the next Q&A video that I do. If you did enjoy this video, then go ahead and like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and leave me a bunch of comments. I want to hear everybody's feedback, and if you know what the hell was going on in my house, please send me those comments over. Okay, thank you. Have a good night, guys. Bye.